Hey, what's up, guys? This is Joey Stacks.
And Ben, hello.
And we're Group 916. We're here to answer your questions to our official Facebook page. Do you like turtles?
I think they're flawed. You know, I think I look at a turtle and I think you'd look much better with wheels. I think, you know, the thing is, with a good sized turtle, you could use it to move things. Like, imagine, okay, you've got a turtle, put some wheels on that bad boy, then you've got a perfect thing to move guitar amps. Seriously, put a guitar
Now
amp.
you've got me interested.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is a business venture.
This is right.
I mean, whoever came up with that, you didn't come up with that. You just
No.
asked me if you like turtles.
That's right.
But I think behind the camera we could do something like
Yeah,
this.
we could do something like that.
This is the kind of things that we need to be going into.
Our road crew could be made of turtles. It's never been done before.
Ninja Turtles. You know, it seemed like a natural progression to make zombies music because obviously it's very obvious that I'm interested in zombies. I was more interested than I currently am because I think a lot of people are feeling a bit let down by the events of the last zombies adventure. But I think that it's grounds that I wanted to tread, but I wanted to tread it in a way that I thought was respectful to the community and B, to what Kevin Sherwood has done, because however much I think he slipped up at a couple of points, I still think his music's very, very good. And have to say that I have been inspired by him to do that. But I think if I really had the chance to do it again, and I don't think it would happen, but it would be to take him and his music somewhere that he can't currently take it. Because I think with Kevin, he's currently limited by, I don't know what it is, maybe it's budget or something, but I think it can't be budget, it's Treyarch.
I think it's time. It's got to be time, right?
Maybe it is just, I think what happens is the maps are created so late, and he gets given the map and just says, well, just make this song. And I think that's a shame because I can always hear when things are rushed, and they don't need to be. I don't think they need to be.
But it's unfair to try to, because we see a lot of people, you know, comparing us to him and saying how much, you know, either he's better or we're better or whatever. I think it's an unfair comparison.
It's not the same
because
thing.
We had, well, not long, but we had a bit of time to construct these songs, whereas he might only have, you know, a week to figure out something and then get everything done for it. So I think it's, what is it, you know, meat and potatoes, it's the same thing.
True, but, you know, looking at, I think the best thing to come out of Treyarch's offices of recent isn't the Origin soundtrack, it's probably the Mob of the Dead soundtrack. It's a very, very good soundtrack.
Yeah.
That had clearly a lot of money because a lot of it was legit strings.
Yes.
And that was a particularly inspiring piece of work, I think. So
Never hear us say a bad word about Mob of the Dead.
no,
Ever.
you will never, ever hear that. It's very good.
Favorite lyrics from ZIII? Well, I didn't think it would be because I have already done the song previously. But what Ben did to rewrite Rise Above, I think, is unparalleled. I think it's 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times better than the original version. With no disrespect to my previous vocalist, it was just the way that we sort of warped the narrative into that song, I think, is one of those catching lightning in a bottle moments that, you know, you don't get very often. So I'd say Rise Above it in its entirety is amazing. Hi, James. I started playing when I was about 11 years old. I lost my old man, and he left me a guitar and an amp. And I just felt like I really needed to do something with it. So for a lot of years, I picked at the guitar, tried to get better. And I mean, here I am. I'm sitting in the UK making an album. So clearly I did something right. Tips. Don't follow any guidelines. Don't follow the rules. Break rules. You know, I'm self-taught. You know, I didn't go to any school for music, but I think it helped me in the long run because there's certain things you don't get from music theory. But just do what you like.
I think that with guitar, the one thing, if he is genuinely starting out, is don't get bogged down in brands and having to have the best guitar at the time and press your parents into getting, Ibanez's or whatever. Master the craft. Something that I regret doing later on, because I started learning guitar at about 9, 10ish, but subsequently left it. And I always look back and I think I wish I'd really stuck with it. I went to piano, believe it or not, and then, well, believe it or not, you know that, but I wish I'd stuck with it and not had to learn it late, because there is that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can, but it takes longer. So master the craft and don't worry so much about which guitar you have at this moment, because it doesn't matter.
The gear doesn't make the musician.
No, definitely not. And it's something that a lot of people will deny, but the gear does not define the music. It's the musician. So just bear that in mind.
Do we have plans to, in fact, add more cowbell?
They say more cowbell, like we've had cowbell. Yeah. I don't think we've had cowbell, and I haven't heard that for a long time.
No. We should do, though.
Well, that's up to you. You're the one with the cowbells. I have a cowbell. It's very dusty, and I think it should remain that way, in its dusty grave.
So is there any merch on the way?
Well, we have this new project now, and in the coming weeks and months we'll have an official website. And I think the idea from that merchandise store is to have a bit of all of our previous projects, because I know a lot of people are asking for Group 916, Double N stuff, Two Down stuff, and to have a kind of hub for all of that would be, as well as our new project, of course, would be ideal. So yes, there will be, definitely will be merchandise. We've held off because I have a real problem with quality, as does Joey. Whether we like high quality stuff, but at the same time we don't want to be charging an inordinate amount for what is essentially t-shirts and stuff, So just keep an eye on the website. We're trying to get good deals with suppliers, and you'll get some really nice stuff soon. We might even make videos of the stuff to show you the kind of range when we actually have them as well, which might be quite interesting. So yeah, keep an eye out. We will have stuff.
So do we have any plans to do a live performance or a tour?
Well, you and I were just talking about it.
Yeah.
The idea, we think right now, is to start something before the middle of next year, in terms of a tour, to maybe pinpoint some intricate venues throughout different countries to come and find you, essentially. But the problem with that is that the following that we have now, we may have to get on the back of other bands to do that. But it's something that we can do, absolutely. We're good live, so it's definitely worth investing some time into. But before that, we can do acoustic live sets. There's loads of stuff that we can do before
hitting the
actual
road
dates. But that's something that we're both interested in. So especially with this new project, that's something that I think we almost need to strive for. So
some big things on the way.
I mean, Joey's here, and it's very different from how it was with Zombies 3. Zombies 3 almost didn't feel real, because it wasn't, I can unfortunately touch this person. Not unfortunately, he's very huggy. Don't hug me. He wasn't going to hug me. But, it's something that we need to look into. So now that it is real, it's very different. So yeah. But again, websites and stuff like that are a good place to keep an eye on, especially this new one. So keep an eye out for that. It's an awkward question for me, because my introduction to YouTube wasn't normal. Started with the viral campaign, that spiraled massively out of control, and subsequently landed up with a YouTube channel which I realistically didn't ever want, but subsequently couldn't have wanted it more. It's strange. It kind of grew on me, the whole idea of YouTube. But then in recent times, YouTube's become a factory for Google, and it's something it's just a shame to see where YouTube is now. I don't think it will last. You know, there's a lot of people who use YouTube, and I think at the end of the day, there will be a revolution. I hope there will be, because it's not going the right way. But no one particularly inspired me. You know, there were people that I really enjoyed, like Mayo Electric, and especially Mayo Electric. But there were some other people who did some more intricate kind of physics videos. I'm quite a scientifically minded guy, and maths. So there are a lot of videos I was like Numberphile and stuff was a huge thing for me originally. But not really an influence. I just always wanted to push the boundaries, always the highest quality, most time devoted to videos, because I like quality, and I can't stand people who don't like quality. It just...
Well, what about music? Like, who inspired you to be a musician? Was there anything?
Yeah, but I mean, it's so many people. This is a question
It's
I
a
get
horrible
asked every
question,
day. It is
yeah.
a stupid question, because
Of course there's
you have
people,
to
yeah.
understand the whole gamut of what I've listened to, and coming from the family I come from, who are very blues and acoustically driven, to this world of metal. You know, I've been listening to metal, new metal, rock, hard rock, even pop, a lot of hip hop, subsequently from Callum, bits of dubstep, Jenge stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that comes into the mix. So it's hard to pinpoint specific people, and I don't like pinpointing specific people, because I think
Cheapens it a bit, doesn't it?
it does, because people then always, on your end, you'll always think that I'm inspired by someone, and you'll always hear that in whatever I make, and that's not something that is good for either of us. So, but I do take inspiration from other artists, because they're there for that reason, and they do inspire me. I'm constantly inspired by things.
We hope
Especially
to
this
inspire
man.
people.
I know, that's what I'm saying, you know. It's weird the whole way that inspiration works, especially creative inspiration. And, you know, it feels weird. We were saying about doing this interview, being frank, about doing it in a really honest way, without being funny and droll, because we're trying to do, I know you don't like me talking about this, we're trying to do the whole kind of professional thing, but I'm so into just being real with people. But like you said, you don't want to see your favourite rock stars. You don't want to see the behind the scenes. You want to draw that curtain. And so it's probably best that I stop talking, because I get myself into trouble. It's a nice utilisation of incredibly poor grammar. I like that one. That's particularly good. What do you think? Music video wise?
I'd say there might be some interesting things happening very soon.
Very soon. Tomorrow, in fact. Yeah. But
There may or may not be something happening
we
tomorrow.
may or may not be a band. You don't know that. Don't judge me or him.
Fuck off, Abel. What gave us the drive to complete these records?
It's not drive. You know, when you're doing this, you know, we've been here all night and all day, and, you know, for this current project I'm talking about, it's not drive, it's a kind of, I mean, it is, but it doesn't feel like drive. We're almost compelled to consistently work, because we have this limited time. As I keep saying, pressure fashions diamonds, without trying to plug anything. It's really interesting way of working. And can I go on a tangent for a second? But I know that question, but
Go on.
I wanted to explain this project and why it's different.
Sure.
This current project, and why it's different from Zombies 3. Zombies 3 was done in what?
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks in total. It was a couple of months, but 2 weeks solid kind of work. and we got a. I still like it. You know, I think you can hear it's my mixing, but it's good. I really enjoy the album. The songs are brilliant, but these songs are different. Like, we're going to places with these songs in terms of not only the chord progressions of songs, but the entire sonic progression.
Yeah.
The first track, if it remains the first track, I don't know, currently codenamed Magnolia, has this kind of Middle Eastern opening, completely Middle Eastern opening. It's really unique, and it's something that I've never delved into particularly. And, you know, getting to actually pick up bongos and acoustic guitars before we'd pick up 7-string, 6 strings, and Pro Tools rig and drums and stuff. It's just a different way of thinking. You know, even today we're experimenting with a sound that we wouldn't have got any other way. With there's a
at all
song. It's currently called Song 4, was it?
Yeah.
That has a very unique dual person. We both had to be working on the guitar sound at the same time. I was controlling foot pedals while Joe was doing something else. It's stuff that this experimentation we never got the chance to do before. And, you know, we've hired a lot of equipment. Some is quite pricey. And it didn't work, did it? I mean, there are things that haven't worked. There are things that were almost surefire things that subsequently when we got them in the studio, we realised that wasn't the sound, or we couldn't get the sound that we wanted. So we went back to things that maybe we wouldn't have thought of the first time. And it's that level of experimentation that I think lifts this album from the other records so far. I mean, it's just big.
It's great. Like, you've got these songs that in their demo form sound, I would say, rival to ZIII in many ways. And
easily.
To me, that's crazy to say, because ZIII is, you know, it's my baby. It's something that I wanted to make the best I possibly could, and I think I did that with the tools I was given. But this is on a completely different planet. Like you said, sonically, it's fuck. It's just as you were saying earlier. You can hear me. And I was saying, earlier on today, I spent about 2 hours with a pad and sheets and actual paper writing chord progressions, which I haven't done since I was studying music theory. And to get the opportunity to do that and not worry about production, because I'm not the one mixing this, we're having an external party mixing this, to actually get to focus on the creation is really refreshing, because I can take my producer hat off and just think, as an artist, singer, and pianist, what I want to hear, and I want it to be perfect, and that's what I'm striving for. So far it's as close to perfect as we're ever going to get. So it's exciting. Very.
And thank you for your questions. If you have any more, then leave them in the comment section. We'll do another one if you would like to see that. And goodbye.